We're staying in our house. We're not leaving until U.S. Bank negotiates in good faith, or they're going to put me in my coffin, one or the other, because this is my house and they can't have it.
I'm a member of Laborers 563. I poured all the concrete on the new 35W bridge. Why is it I'm losing my house? I'm not going to leave. I took the pledge, and I'll keep taking the pledge. You know, with you guys behind me, I'm not leaving my house.
I got good news. The bank they've been worried about us. They've been calling me. They've been calling me. They want to renegotiate with me. They're afraid of you.
As long as there are foreclosures that we can prevent, as long as there are families getting kicked out of their homes who shouldn't be getting kicked out of their homes, we're going to be here. And we're going to be calling attention to it. And we're going to be pointing to people like John who can afford to pay a mortgage, who there is no reason that this man should be losing his house. There is no reason that this man should be losing his house. And U.S. Bank is going to take it away unless we do something about it. And so we're here to say that's not going to happen. Not here. Not in Coon Rapids where Frank is. Not in North Minneapolis where Monique is. Not in South Minneapolis where Bobby Hull is.
We started a national movement. Y'all realize that, right? Monique's house started a national movement. They're now doing this in Atlanta. They're doing it in LA, New York, Miami, right? They're doing it in Wisconsin. And it's based on the fact that we know how to turn people out in Minnesota. We don't play any games. When somebody needs support in our community, we show up.
Fighting for our freedom, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved.
I live in North Minneapolis. I live on a corner of 16th and Russell. It's my family home. It's not just my spot. It's a spot where my family gathers. You know, this is not the American dream. This is not the American way.
I could open my wings if we could all spread our wings out here right now and fly up above this neighborhood and look down. All we would see was buildings. We would see these buildings here and we would look down at these people and go, these people, they get up and they live in these buildings, and we would look at it like how we look at our own nests, right? The thing about these buildings is every one of you in these buildings, every one of us from these buildings, we're actually a pillar. Each one of us, this ain't just a building, this ain't just a plot of land. Pillars living here, and if we take these pillars out of here, then the whole community is gonna fall.
I'm somebody who grew up in a family where we were always about a month away from foreclosure and always on the edge of it. And as I was doing this work, as this Occupy Homes thing was picking up, about a month into it, my family got a letter. I live at home with my mom, and it was a letter for a sheriff's sale. The first thing my mom said was, "You're not coming to occupy my house." And she sat down with other people in foreclosure, like Monique, like Bobby Hull, like Ruby, people who are standing up and fighting back. And she started to think, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be ashamed of this. Maybe it's not my fault. Maybe 10 million other Americans are going through foreclosure right now. Maybe it's the bank's fault that this is happening, and maybe I need to do something about this.
I'm in trouble, and people all around me are too. And I just want to thank all the people that made this possible to fight back against the monster that's you can't beat.
Am I mad? I'm mad at U.S. Bank because they lie to their mortgage customers. They lie to various levels of government. They falsify documents. They ignore court orders. And yet they're still allowed to foreclose on customers' homes. So what should U.S. Bank do? They have one of two choices at this point. They can either voluntarily put a halt to all foreclosures here in Minnesota, or we'll force the government to institute a mandatory moratorium on foreclosures.
It's my house. John's house. My house. My house. Thank you.
John's house! So the bank called me yesterday, and they said, Mr. Hall, your celebration tomorrow is a celebration. It's not a going away party.
America said they'll get back to me next week with the details, but he said on Friday, celebrate your staying. And they said, are you happy now? And I said, no. I want my money back. I want all my neighbors to stay here with me.